Hey y'all, what's good with you? What's good with me is I am here with the phenomenal Natasha. I am your host, Erica, otherwise known as Black Girl Gone Keto. I am the host of Keto Trippin. Keto Tripping is about me traveling the country, the United States, maybe even beyond, to meet phenomenal women just like Miss Natasha here that are doing keto, and just sharing our experiences, sharing our pros and cons, and just talking about keto in general. It's a movement, and we are really just trying to share that. Tell a friend to tell a friend. On YouTube, Keto Tripping, check it out. But yeah, so Miss Natasha, this is such a long time coming.
It is. Thank you for having me.
Yes, tell the people your name. Just introduce yourself.
My name is Natasha. Instagram, Let's Heal _. I have been doing keto for the last 8 months. I ran into or came in on a live accidentally on Instagram that you were having your keto talks Monday nights, and I accidentally asked to be a part of the keto talk.
Accidentally.
Accidentally. I just was supposed to be typing in a question, and I came in on a live, and immediately we connected. But then when I went further into connecting to learn more about keto, with your coaching, and I was told that you couldn't coach me.
Oh, y'all listen to this. This is pretty intense. Yeah, so I host Monday Night Lives, myself and my girlfriend, Stick and Stilettos, who's Tess. Her actual keto coach. We'll talk about that a little later. But on the live, I normally say, if you guys have any questions, come on live, and we could talk together. And she popped in, and unbeknownst to her girlfriend actually was like, "Do you know you're online?" Right. So we went on to talk. It was amazing. She started talking about her story. We followed up. After our call, I said, "We're going to help you. Follow up with me directly after."
And she actually followed up, not like everyone else. She actually reached back out to help.
Yes. So then we spoke, and she began to tell me a little bit about her story and what her concerns were. And I politely told her, no. In the best way possible, I told her I couldn't be her coach. Okay, just so that you guys know, I'm a G, okay? I don't cry. However, Tasha knows that I shed gangster water, because that's how I do. I'm going to try to keep my gangster water at bay, but there is a reason why. Number one, keto in general has helped to save my life. And I believe that it's saving lives across the country. A lot of women, women in general, not just the ones that look like us, right, but women in general are really starting to make themselves a priority and take their health back. But the reason, I'll put it together at the end. I want her to tell her own story about why I could not coach her, but I want her background first, and then it'll come together as to why I couldn't be her keto coach. So
my background for keto is, before I started, I was type 2 diabetic. I was on 2 insulins twice a day and a oral pill once a day. I have PCOS. I had just started to have stomach issues, with vomiting and keeping food down and pain and all this stuff, and I found out that I had diverticulitis. I had to have a procedure done. There was some stuff with my colon, and I'm only 30 years old, and
she's
that's
a baby.
A lot to to be so young, and all this stuff was in my 20s. So I started to think that it was some action I needed to take.
Right.
And you see all these fad diets, and no shade to them because I've been on all of them.
Same here.
I actually wanted something that was gonna heal me and to help make it be a lifestyle and not just another quick fix.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say you wanted to do? You wanted it to what you?
Heal me.
Listen to the key word.
Heal me.
Remember that through our conversation. She wanted to find something that was going to heal her. And even in our discussion about her telling me about her health issues, understanding, guys, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm a girl who tried keto and it worked. Even the coaching term I use very loosely because it's more of a personal accountability piece, so on and so forth. So of course, when she was telling me about her health issues, primarily one of her health issues, I'll let her continue.
I even looked into weight loss surgery and all of that too, but I wanted something that was not the next quick fix or something that, wouldn't be something I could take for the rest of my life. So my why was, as I was getting older, I want to have children and I want to be married one day, and I didn't want to get into that situation of a family trying to take control over getting healthy. I wanted to do that before I got to that point, before I put my kids in a predicament where mom was sick or my husband where he had to take care of his wife at such a young age. So my why was my future me. What was the future me gonna do to help myself get better? Because God promises the abundance of life, but if we're not there to take action to do stuff ourselves, then we will never experience all the promises that he has given us.
God is the pilot, but we're the co-pilot.
Right.
So yeah.
So with the diabetes, after meeting Miss Erica and her keto venture, I was, so excited, and then I got shut down, and I was like, well, see, maybe it's not for me.
So I told her politely no. She had quite a few health issues going on. The one that stuck out most to me was diabetes. For those of you who follow me, there are a lot of you new to my YouTube channel who don't know. I lost my 22-year-old niece to diabetes. She had diabetic complications, and it goes deep. I'm not going to go too much into it, but diabetes has been very, very near and dear to my heart. But not only that, it makes me very emotional again. So when I spoke with her, number one, with her being so young, and the moment we started talking, and as she continued to speak, once she told me she had diabetes and she was taking insulin, I kind of shut down. You know what I mean? For that point, emotionally, she didn't know, but I was on the phone crying with her. She didn't know that. I don't know if we even got to that point, but I was literally on the phone listening to her, thinking to myself, this young lady now has the chance to take her life back. All I could think about is, and no disrespect to you, but at the time I was thinking, had my niece had something like this in front of her, she very well may have had the same opportunity to take her life back.
Right.
So, continue on.
And I thank you for that too, because even though I've had diabetes since I was a teenager, no one really around me my age in the family, besides the older people and my mom and my uncle and everyone that had it. So when you did share your story about your niece and her unfortunately losing her life, it was like a shock to me that this is real.
Right, this could happen.
Yeah, this could happen. So, you're on medicine, you're young, you're hanging out with your friends, you're not really taking it serious. But to see it was a wake up call for me too. This could be my last chance to get it right.
Can I really pass away from this?
Right.
The reality of that. So tell me a little bit about, so we have your why. We know you wanted to get healthy. I directed her to contact my girlfriend, Tess Steak and Stilettos. Yes. Because she is just very, very, what's the best word I can use about
educational.
She's
about every area of your life.
She spends quite a bit of time in research and doing things. There's a reason why I call on her for help, because I'm like, she's a wealth of information. So I knew that she would be a great addition to assisting her, and she has. Tell me what's gone on since you've been on keto. I mean, other than how much weight you've lost, what's changed with your health?
I am off of all diabetic medication. I am not on any insulin. I am not on any oral pills. My stomach issues with my colon, everything's came back clear. I was supposed to have a procedure to take out a piece of my colon. No effects, no side effects from that, so that was pushed off. My PCOS symptoms, of course, they're still going to linger, but they're not as strong as they used to be. So I am 50 pounds down. I'm just feeling so much better. And there's so much things more than weight loss. Like, you start to see why you eat or why you went towards some weight. You start to really seek the issues that cause weight gain and cause you eating.
Right.
So it's like mental, emotional, and physical transformation that you take.
So I apologize, guys, for stepping away, but I had to do a praise moment real quick because when we spoke originally about her A1C, tell them about your A1C and where it is now.
My A1C was a 13.5 when I originally went to the doctor. She upped my insulin because it was so high. So within 3 months.
3 months.
When I went back for a checkup, it was a 7.2. So she had said,
but God.
Oh, well, I guess upping the insulin worked. And I was like, well, disclosure, I'm not telling anyone to stop medication, stop anything. But I was standing in faith with myself that I could do something for myself. Because as I was doing keto, the reality was the insulin plus eliminating the sugars and the carbs, my sugar was getting so low that I did not need the insulin.
Right.
But you do what is
again,
advised by
sidebar,
your doctor.
we are not doctors, physicians. We're not giving you advice to stop taking your insulin.
Not at all.
We're telling you a story that this young lady was able to reduce her A1C successfully and didn't necessarily need to continue at that point to take her insulin because her numbers were better. So
Right.
Keto in a nutshell, first and foremost, a lot of us start off because we want to get it tight and right. Right? We want to be sexy. We want to be cute. We want to look good in our clothes. That's why we start. We're uncomfortable in our skin. We want to lose weight. Throughout the process, you'll realize, number one, why you do what you do. Keto gives you the mental clarity. It gives you the room to figure out what's going on. Because it's not the food. I'm here to tell you, it's really not the food. Keto gives you the opportunity to figure out that 80% of this whole thing is mental. The other 20% is food.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
With keto, you're not hungry. You have energy that you haven't had before. I'm telling you, before I started back in 2018, I was almost 400 pounds. I saw myself on the next episode of My 600 Pound Life, real talk. I mean, really, no disrespect to anybody that's on that show, because trust me, that it's saving lives. But I was depressed. With the passing of my niece, I was depressed. Anxious. I had anxiety. I was killing myself, literally. And when I found keto, the energy, I felt like burdens were being lifted in terms of my depression. And women are finding, not only are you losing weight, because that's the side effect. I don't want to say side effect, that's the residual, that's the after effect doing keto. You get healthy first, and then you start to see the weight loss. So what does your family think about what's going on with keto? How's that been impacting you at all?
To be honest, because I have been on diet after diet and change after change, I had to take a step back and look at maybe they weren't so accepted because we've seen this before.
Right.
And you don't want to keep, not encouraging, because you always want to encourage, but you don't want to keep hitting the nail like over and over again for someone to stop the next, because the first of the year is coming and everyone's in the gym and everyone's on this diet and everyone's gonna new
Is it a fad?
year.
Is it right?
So now that I look at the way they weren't really supportive, I had some family that were supportive in some ways, but the people that weren't, it encouraged me to not only prove a point, but it encouraged me to see that everyone's not going to be in your corner.
Right.
So whether they're family, whether they're friends, whether they're someone on a social media network, everyone's not going to be for you. But as long as you're for yourself, that's all that matters.
Another thing, you can show them better than you can tell them.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, success is your best revenge.
Right.
So in terms of, is she going to do it this time? Trust me, you've met my family. I'm going to tell you guys, Natasha is my first episode for a reason. I'm going to say this in every episode, that I was Drake in the beginning, no new friends. I have a huge family. I have great friends. I didn't need new friends. Keto is really a sisterhood. It's really creating relationships that I never thought. So we met actually for the first time. She was doing phenomenal. She decided to come to the rendezvous I'm going to be doing annually, the Black Girl Gone Keto.
Need to be there.
The Black Girl Gone Keto rendezvous. So we had that in July, and I was blessed to be able to meet her for the first time this July at the rendezvous, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Not only was she able to tell her story, but the impact on how it played on everyone else that was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Tell me a little bit about, what's going on with you. What with this change, what do you want to do with the information that you learned?
Well, I would say, even going back to the rendezvous we had, like meeting new people and understanding, like, even my support group, as far as my friends that are here that, have pumped me up and encouraged me and stuck by me with everything. Your weekend, I was able to also meet other friends, and it just felt so warm to meet other Black women, other women in general of all ages, there for one common goal. We had such a great weekend, and till this day I'm still close with a lot of them. We still text on the side, we still share recipes, we still share cries, we still share the darkest secrets. So it's beyond keto. Like when you look at something for just weight loss or for looking better, it's healing, it's a breath of fresh air of the experience. So going forward from here, I'm mainly just looking at healing my whole life. Like keto has started, the weight loss and the healing of my diabetes. And from going forward, I just look at life differently because you feel better.
Right.
You understand things better. It's like you just feel like you can conquer anything. Like you've gotten over a hurdle, that this is not just the next best thing.
Right.
So I just feel like going forward here, you know me, I'm not really a talker. This is big for me to even do this. When you called, it was a huge pause.
She was silent for like I'm not even joking, maybe a cool 45 seconds. I almost said hello. I know that she, hasn't been very vocal, and it's her business. Everybody is not crazy like me that likes to tell everything. But I believe that she really has a story to tell. And not only that, again, she is so special to me, she doesn't have any idea. And it's not just about my niece. My baby's name is Imani Shaybell, by the way. But it's not just about my niece. It's about you being able to take your life back. It's about deciding, I can live with diabetes. I can actually cure. Well, I need to tiptoe around that, y'all. So sidebar, star, be careful. But there's things that you can do. Keto is healing. And this young lady here has a story to tell. And in turn, she can help the next Imani. She can prevent the next Imani. So this episode, this Keto Tripping, is dedicated to my beautiful, phenomenal niece in heaven, Miss Imani Shaybell, and my family. But more importantly, this beautiful woman that sits next to me that's going to live on